Hello disc golfers and welcome to North Georgia Canopy Tours for the 3rd annual Georgia Flying Disc Festival presented by MVP Disc Sports. I'm Matt Dollar and joining me today will be Bryan Gort. What's up, Bryan?
Morning.
So today's featured card for round 1 will have myself playing for Team MVP. We'll have Dave Feldberg playing for Latitude 64. We'll have JoJo Bonet, who is not sponsored, and then first we will have Nathan Skinner playing for Team Discraft, teeing off here on hole number 6. Hole 6 is a par 5. It's one of the 2 par 5s in the layout we're playing today. The Super Lula layout that we'll be playing is a 21-hole layout and comes in at par 71. So that was a cool little graphic there to show you where the basket was. So basically what you're trying to do is just get out in this field and put your second shot anywhere near the gap so that you can throw at the little target that was just displayed there up at the green. Teeing second will be Dave Feldberg. Not really sure what Dave's throwing here. Any idea, Bryan?
Something latitude.
It's definitely latitude.
They're just throwing a hyzer trying to avoid the OB on the right side. That's a good shot.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that was an enforcer. Just playing it safe. It is possible it was a stiletto, I guess. I'm going to be going with the Photon and the Neutron plastic. This is my... I'd call it my long-range overstable driver. Just going to pitch the short hyzer shot to land in position. For me on this hole, one thing I don't want to do is be too aggressive off the tee, because if I put myself in really good position, I got a bad tendency to try and throw a dumb second shot. So I really just want to put myself safe in the middle and lay up on the second one. Speaking of dumb shots, I think JoJo's lining up a forehand roller here.
Is that a max?
I'm not really sure. It could be that Sexton Firebird. You just put a little too much air on it, and it's going to land on a weird angle and cut roll out of bounds. And this is actually a double penalty because the OB line is on the right side of the trees. So now he's stuck behind all these trees and cannot see his landing zone. Really tough spot to miss on this hole. Looks like he juiced that tomahawk. He's probably going to go over the fairway. We didn't catch the catch cam footage there, but I believe JoJo's going to end up a little farther left than he wanted.
You can see the opening on the left side. It's dark in there. That's what you're trying to go for.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little shorter than I wanted to be there. That was the Fireball and the Proton plastic. Skinner looks like he may be lining up to go over the top. What do you think about going over the top here, Gort?
Well, I would never do it unless I was in the gap, because I don't have the arm to do it. But it's just very dicey in the summer because there's so much foliage and it's hard to see. I've seen a lot of people lose disc going over the top.
You know Dave's going over. Or attempting to.
It looks left.
It was definitely left. Both those guys threw their shots too early. That's the problem on this hole, is if you do throw... Oh, Feldberg's disc just caught in that tree at the top. I just saw it come down and stick right there. He had a pretty good idea that it was stuck in the tree. I couldn't see it from where we were at, but sure enough, it was stuck up in there.
JoJo's in a tough spot here.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to pull out an Electron Envy and throw a little forehand back to the middle. Just try to give himself a shot to get up there. And I guess he'd be trying to save bogey at this point after going OB off the tee shot. I'm a little bit further back and further left than I wanted to be, so definitely out of position. It's going to force me to throw in a fairway driver instead of putter mid like I would like to do.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was my Wrath, beat up Wrath in the Neutron plastic. I definitely pulled it a little wide when I threw it, but not the best break on that green.
Got a little bit unlucky in the trees there.
Yeah, but I feel like as long as you stay on the top shelf, you at least have some kind of luck usually.
And the potential to roll back down on your next shot.
Absolutely. JoJo's going with that Electron Envy once again.
That's a good line.
Yeah, he buttered that one. It's much easier to throw a forehand up that hill than a backhand if you're in good position.
I tend to throw a lefty thumber up the hill.
So Dave and Nathan are actually in very similar positions, and I don't think either one of them will have a good line to try and throw up to the top. Looks like they're both just going to pitch onto the hillside. So Dave's closer than Nathan, but Nathan has a better line for sure.
Good putt.
Yeah, that was a really nice putt to start out the round for Nathan. Feldberg's having a little trouble finding some footing on that hillside. And really what's even worse is when he lines up, he won't be able to put his hands as low as he wants because that hillside is right in front of him. And with a putt this high, you generally want to be taking a low to high approach on your putt. So this is going to be a really tough putt for Dave to try and convert from probably about circle's edge. So I did end up tucked into that right side, but I stayed up on the hill. I had a couple options here, and I believe I'm going to go into a straddle putt and try and putt through a little gap in the trees. Able to put the Electron Envy home there. That's the flippiest Electron Envy in my bag. Not the one that I usually putt with, but anytime I need it to flip a little extra, I go with that one. One funny thing you'll notice is JoJo and I both use Electron Envies, and our two Envies that we throw are the exact same color combos. We both have a blue on pink and a pink on pink. So after one hole, Nathan and myself grab the only birdies. Dave takes a par, and JoJo's able to save the bogey after going OB off the tee. Hole 7, 340 feet. It's definitely one of my favorite holes on the course. If you can just throw a really clean, straight shot with a left finish at about 370 feet, then you're going to get a birdie here. Because it definitely plays much further than 340. I went with the Neutron Wrath, took it a little bit tighter than I wanted. Left me with a fairway shot, though. Should be an easy up and down for par.
I always try to take the right line because the left side is really thick. You don't want to be inside the left side at all.
So you go to the right of the tree in the middle?
I do.
So from this angle, it really just looks like the fairway is only to the left of that tree that's kind of in the middle on the right side of the fairway. But in real life, when you get up there, you can definitely go to the right side of that tree if you throw a faster disc with hyzer that will kind of stand up as it goes.
Yeah, I usually throw a wraith on that shot.
So we're rolling on our second hole, and JoJo has went forehand roller off both those tees. You're not going to see a lot of forehand rollers from him, but I guess those were two that definitely called for it in his book.
Little putt. That's still a tester.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy up shot.
No.
He put a pretty good effort on it. At least give him a look. Probably outside the circle still for sure, though. All right, only the second hole, and we're going to see the rare Dave Feldberg forehand. I believe he's got a black Cenis in his hand.
That looks like the medium Cenis. That's coming in hot. Oh, that's a good tree.
Yeah, that was a good tree. You can definitely get back in those woods and not have a putt coming back. It was a good forehand, though. He was definitely obstructing. He had to have some anhyzer on it. The Cenis has lots of late stability, so not surprised that it came out at the end, but should set him up for a fairly routine circle's edge putt for par. Skinner kind of got away with one on his tee shot, but he is not going to get away with that one. It's going to be a tough putt to try and save his par. He's actually back here at the macro basket. He'd be better off putting out on that one. I'm going to go Electron Envy forehand here. Yeah. It was just a little. It was better than Dave's, but it kind of did the same thing as his. It just didn't fade out as hard. Had a good height to it. I'm glad I didn't get back in those woods either.
Had a little less heat on it than Dave's.
Yeah. One of the videos last year, I missed a short putt from right back in that area that I'm in now. It's up by Squirrel through the first set of trees. So I definitely want to make sure I don't get into the trees when I throw an upshot here. What do you think? This is about circle's edge or just inside?
Looks like circle's edge. Had the right height.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad look. JoJo may be dealing with a little bit of nerves. He's never played on camera before, and this is definitely a big featured card to be on. Yeah, Dave's gonna not be happy with that. One thing I can say though about this hole is when you play hole 6, right after you finish it, you climb the side of a mountain, and If you're not used to that, then it's definitely a tough adjustment coming up here and then trying to pipe this super tight tee shot. And I think definitely the climb and pulling that cart probably put Dave a little bit winded going into this hole. So now that we're up on the side of the hill, though, we'll have a chance to catch our breath and get some birdies. But hole 7 was pretty rough for the group there. I actually was the only one to get the par, and everyone else grabbed a bogey. So we'll move into hole number 8, which is the shortest hole in the course, I believe. We've been trying to get this basket pushed back a little bit for a few years now. We're hoping to do it one day.
Did you hit a tree on the right side?
Well, kinda. I hit like the bottom of a tree branch with the top of the flight plate. It was like a fraction of an inch too high, and it kicked straight down. Didn't even make it to the bottom.
Needed 1 or 2 degrees more hyzer.
Yeah. Maybe just 2 inches lower. This is a hole where you should birdie it every time if you're a pro player. But the thing is, you can't be greedy. So Feldberg plays it perfectly, really. You just throw it lower than you think you should, and with a little more hyzer than you should, into the hillside. And you'll definitely have a putt. But it's easy to get greedy on this one because the basket is right there, it's framed up, and I mean this hole gives up more aces than probably the rest of the course combined. JoJo's going with that Electron Envy in the with the forehand again. That's not good. He's going to be down at the bottom of the hill as well. I didn't even make it to the bottom of the hill, so I'm just going to be trying to kind of pitch up. Definitely not the start I was looking for, but it's, when you TD, it's hard to get a good warm-up in, so I kind of always account for that, and I think it actually helps my mental game in my own tournaments because I don't have high expectations for myself, and so even though I had a kind of a rocky start, I really didn't get frustrated at all. Pretty nice out from JoJo. He was pretty obstructed, even though he was further than me. He was kind of forcing that forehand upshot here. What does Dave putt with? Do you know?
I actually don't know.
I feel like he was on the daggers for a long time, but I'm not sure if he still messes with those at all. Good putt from Dave. Took an extra second or two there just to make sure he was going to nail it in.
He was thinking about that putt on hole 7.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Sometimes you just got to get that first birdie in, you know, before you can really start playing golf, before you loosen up. So JoJo's had kind of a tough start so far, and he's stuck with a little bit of an obstructed lie. I mean, this is a putt I would expect him to make, but it is a weird situation. But he makes a good putt. Maybe that'll settle his nerves and bring out the good golfer in JoJo that we've seen many times before. Skinner gets the birdie there. Looks like he's going to mark the CTP. It's a waste of time because that's not holding.
James McNaughton ended up getting it with a thumber.
Nice. No thumber ace though this time?
No thumber ace.
Alright, so after hole 8, we had 2 guys cart the birdie there, and I will take the par. JoJo also with the par. Coming into hole 9, it's just a beautiful hole. You can just barely see the basket on the left side of the top of that hill from the tee pad. It's kind of right in between a mid-range and fairway driver distance. So I think that's the trickiest part of this hole, besides the low ceiling, is just the distance, getting the distance right.
I like to play a low fairway driver because of the low ceiling. I want to make sure I get up there.
Sometimes I worry about getting the crazy counter skip off the side of the hill if I throw a driver too low, but I actually have the tendency to throw the driver a little high and it skips too far left. Kind of like Dave's shot right here. I don't think he rolled down. He should be alright. If you roll down any further than that, you have no putt. But that should be okay. I'm going to go with the Envy here, the soft Envy in the Neutron plastic. My premium plastic throwing putter. Just a little offline there. Playing the hyzer right to left move the whole way, but just started a little too far right. Shouldn't be too hard to get up and down from there, but definitely no chance at birdie. JoJo's been working on his backhand a lot the last couple of years. It's definitely coming around.
This is a tough backhand shot.
It is. But the problem
It's
is...
just even tougher forehand.
Yeah, there's no forehand
Right.
line. Yeah. You know, I'm actually surprised we didn't see him break out the forehand roller again.
You roll down that hill, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and he's been bit by it twice already.
That'll play.
Oh, that's just a beautiful forehand there. Kind of thinking that was a Firebird. I know he throws those Sexton Firebirds, but...
It looks lighter than the Sexton.
Yeah, that looked like a
It
clear...
looks clear champion.
Yeah, that was a clear champion disc. I'm just going to try to jump putt up to the basket, not try to get aggressive. I guess it's kind of hard to get really aggressive when you're that far short. Alright, Dave's got a chance to get back-to-back birdies here. He's forced into the straddle putt. And once again, he's found himself like just around circle's edge. This one must be inside the circle, because he would be step putting this all day if it was outside.
Putting looks a little weird too.
That's true. But sometimes those steppers you can get away with having less room behind you to putt. That was a very nice putt. It's going to get Dave 2 birdies in a row, and he is back on track after the slow start and huge climb up hole 6. So Nathan and JoJo tap in. I'm going to do the same. And we'll end up moving on to hole number 10. So today we started on hole 6, and I believe we're doing 11 holes in this video. Like I said, it's a 21 hole layout, so we'll end up having 11 holes on the first video and 10 on the second one, I do believe. Big shout out to Fox Hills Disc Golf, Clay and Michelle Jones, for coming out and filming this event. They did a wonderful job, and I hope that you were able to catch the Matt Versola Ace on Sports Center. So hole 10, 400 feet downhill. Feldberg's going roller.
You know, I don't think I've seen that play on this hole before.
I actually used to try it a little bit. I mean, it can work. He said he parked it the day before the tournament. But it's definitely not a line you see anyone else take.
Yeah, it's just the whole basket is 50, or they're 50 feet of hills down past the basket.
Yeah, if you do get one that stands up straight and never turns and rolls down there, I mean, you could roll all the way back to hole 7.
They might have wanted to climb the hill again.
So if you throw the backhand righty shot on this hole, you do have to worry about fading out to the left. That is pretty thick jail over to the left if you do penetrate in. By the look on Skinner's face, he thinks that he penetrated in. I'm going to go with the Neutron Wrath yet again. You're going to see this disc a lot from me this weekend. And that one is very well seasoned. Come on out, baby. Oh, mega skip and roll down the hill, but that'll putt. I knew it was a little right out of my hands. I was actually kind of hoping it would hit those trees down there about pin high and give me like a 25-footer. But once it hyzered out a little bit and didn't hit that tree on the right side, I knew I'd have some kind of putt.
This is the preferred line on this hole.
Flex forehand. Yeah, if you got it. It's a big one, though.
Yeah, and if it's preferred, but not many people can do it.
What's he going with here? Destroyer?
Something not stable enough.
Yeah, he burned that one over. That could have been something less stable than a destroyer.
Yeah, it flipped fast. Put some anhyzer on it though.
Were you playing with Mark Flanders in round 1 when he hit the basket on this hole?
Not.
Yeah, he took the forehand Anheuser flex shot that JoJo was attempting. And Mark Flanders, he was playing this course blind. He came in for the tournament, and he smashed chains with a forehand on this 400-foot hole. He didn't just like hit the side of the chains. He hit it really good. It fell out, but it landed right beside the basket, so he ended up getting the $50 CTP. Feldberg's got a little spicy upshot there.
Looks good.
He looked concerned, but I think it stopped right when it passed.
Seen this?
Yeah, it was the Cenas. Sometimes when you jump putt the little anti-soft layup jump putt with the Cenas, because it has that extra bit of stability, it'll just hang out in the air a little bit longer. So Skinner wasn't too buried in there. Anytime you're able to like take your lie on the outside, you're doing pretty good. So JoJo's very outside the circle here. I'm over there standing behind him since I'll be next to putt, and I'm down on that side of the basket too. And this putt looked really, really tough. Definitely the toughest putt he's had yet this round.
Dang.
Yeah, soft Envy.
With a stable putter there.
Oh man, the Envy has so much glide that it just rides up these hills. That was a great putt. We got the first slow-mo of the tournament there for JoJo Bonet. So here I am from about 35 feet, maybe a little more, putting for the birdie. And I will also use my pink on pink Envy and convert the birdie here on number 10.
Tried to spit through a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but you know, it's going uphill like that, you have a lot less chance, I think, of cutting through when you come in with the hyzer because the disc isn't pushing straight through the chains. It's kind of pushing up into them. I don't get the birdie on this hole very often. I'd say it's one of the toughest par 3s on the course.
It's the longest par 3 on the course, isn't it?
Yeah, this one and hole 13 are pretty similar in distance. 13 is probably a little harder because the gap is tighter the whole way. Well, I'll be the only one to card the birdie on hole number 10, and we'll move on to hole 11, which is one of my favorite holes in the course. It's a little two-shot par 4, and it says 530, and I mean, that's really no lie. You throw two 270-foot shots, and you'll be doing really good. Really two 250 shots, I feel like. Maybe 270 off tee, 250 on the second one.
Yeah, it's a little longer than you think off the tee to get into the right landing zone.
It's a complete 90-degree turn to the right, so you really are just trying to land in the landing zone here. Or at least I am. I'm going with the soft Envy again in the Electron plastic. It's going to be pretty good. Just a little bit shorter than I was wanting, I think. Dave tells me he goes roller
I
here.
figured he was going to go roller.
I like it. I don't ever see anyone do this. Oh, this looks really good. Oh, you gotta love having the catch cam there.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it curled in a little bit on the tight side, but he's gonna have one of the shortest upshots I've ever seen for your second shot on this hole. I think if he'd have went just a little wider, he would have been up there.
Yeah, but you put that tree into play, that left tree. Wide.
Ooh, was he trying to throw a roller?
No, it looked like a mid-range or a putter.
Just put a little grip lock on it. At least it kicked out of there, though. He'll be able to pitch up to the landing zone and have a chance to save par. Okay, this is definitely one of those Sexton Firebirds, right? It's got that seafoam color.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's going to try to play the forehand, get a little aggressive, and get around the corner. I see a lot of out-of-towners go for this. Oh,
Stop by the last tree.
that was so close to being good, but if you're
Cut
playing
the corner a little bit.
Yeah, if you're playing that forehand, you'd rather go deep than early. You go early and you have no chance. You go deep, you're still going to have some kind of shot. Skinner's stuck in a weird spot here.
Looks like a good out.
Yeah, I think that'll give him a chance to get up and down. Is JoJo trying to cut a corner?
Throwing a thumber really hard, I think.
I'm not sure what happened there. Was he converting to a roller, or was that...
It looked like a thumber, but I
don't know. JoJo's got all the tricks in his bag, that's for sure. Okay, so my angle's a little better than it looked like at first. It's still going to force me to an Anheuser. I'm going to go with the exact same putter again.
that looks like a birdie.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. It's like right about 20 feet. This is, like I said, one of my favorite holes. Any hole you can throw your putter 2 times in a row on a really straight or slight Anheuser move, it's definitely going to be a hole I like.
Kind of surprised we didn't see thumber from you there.
You know, that it really doesn't fit the tee shot that well. That right side's a little thick, so there's not enough room to work it right to left. When the course first went in, I would play the thumber off that tee shot, but you know what, though? I bet if this was a course that I was playing out of town, I probably would step up and think thumber there.
Yep.
So Dave is really in great position. He did just barely get off the fairway, but he's set up with a really nice, soft Anheuser putter shot. Just got to make sure you don't take it too wide. It's easy to do here because you're trying to play the Anheuser.
That looks too wide. Yep.
And he got the tree on the gap or on the corner. He may have a putt, he may not. You never know in that range.
It's, what, about 40 feet from the basket?
Yeah,
obstructed.
He might even be closer, but yeah, definitely going to be obstructed. I mean, look, a good shot at first. He threw the thumber, it skipped off his back, then it just rolled down.
It looked like it came out of his hand kind of loose. A little looser than he would have wanted.
That's probably why he hit the ground so early. Makes sense. This is a really tough looking line right here. It's got to have a lot of hyzer and keep a lot of height. Wow, he did both those things and actually hit the top of the basket. So Skinner's down there. He's parked on the macro basket. I'm telling you, man, if Skinner would just start putting in all the macro baskets, he'd be doing good. The way he's lining up makes me think he actually has a pretty decent line because he's not even looking at the gap there for a good 20. Look at him. He's like looking down and then looks up. So he must have a decent gap to putt through. Well, he gets it through there. Well, didn't look too happy. Had a little clap of the hands.
Looks like it grabbed some foliage on the way in.
See if JoJo can dial up some long putting magic on back-to-back holes.
It's a similar putt to the last hole.
It is, yeah. I don't know if he straddled the last one. I guess he did, but with the right foot behind the disc. But yeah, I expect to see that low to high hyzer release. I think that was a good little tree back there. Did you see that?
Rolled right back to the basket.
Right back to the basket. Skinner taps out for bogey, I believe, because he was not able to get up and down. And Feldy's got a little bit of a comebacker, but it should be no problem for him. Yep, no problem in there. So I'll be the only one with the chance to grab the birdie here on hole 11. And it's going to be closer than that 20 feet that I said earlier. Looks like it's about 10. Always happy to grab the birdie before we head into the Chicken Shack hole. World famous. Oh, we got a commercial first.
Hey there, John Ketchum. If you're like me, you fear those fairways full of trees built by sadistic pros to make their competitors bogey. Well, I'm proud to present to you the newest product to revolutionize the sport of disc golf. Ching's Organic Tree Repellent. Ching's Organic Tree Repellent gives you the confidence you need to take on those tricky shots through the forest on all those leftover land courses we all love to play. With just one dose of Ching's Organic Tree Repellent, your disc will turn through the course and get you closer to the pin every time. Not be fooled though, all tree repellents aren't the same. Ching's Organic Tree Repellent is made 100% organic from the finest ingredients and now gluten-free. It's the only tree repellent guaranteed not to work every time. Ching's Organic Tree Repellent. I spray that stuff on everything.
Hey everybody, are you a kid? Have you ever been a kid? Do you know a kid? Do you have any friends with kids? Well, you'd love this book. It's all about the great sport we love. So get your copy on discgolfcenter.com or get it on Amazon even, or maybe Infinite Disc.
All right, we're back here on hole number 12 at the Chicken Shack.
You can see some of these green plastic pieces that are hanging down from the roof. Keith Johnson came in here Friday night and cut down all of these. They were obstructing a lot of the tee shots, so big shout out to him and thanks.
Oh yeah, big thanks to Keith on that. He also swept off every single tee pad out here. I'm going Neutron Wrath yet again. It's going to be a little deep, but I will definitely take that putt all day. There's no B at all. Even have the back safe. It's definitely got to be the power stash. I broke out the power stash last June for the Georgia Team Invitational at Lula, so I felt like I had to bring it back.
What's he throwing here?
I want to say it's a Spark. I feel like it's his Gold Line Spark.
That looks too high.
That's going to be too high, yeah.
Will do.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want to do on the Chicken Shack hole is throw it too high. If you throw it too low, you can definitely hit a pretty hard packed spot on the ground and skip all the way up to the pin. But if you throw it too high, you're almost never going to get a good bounce off the ceiling. And I think the disc hitting the ceiling is a big part of why those green streamers come down. What do you think, forehand or forehand roller? I'm really surprised it's not the roller.
Forehand here.
I want to see the forehand roller.
I like to throw the backhand roller sometimes.
Back in the day, Ryan Watson threw the forehand roller straight out the Chicken Shack and went down the hill outside. It was amazing.
Now only Canadians get to see those shots.
That's right. That's right. He is our Canadian brother. Not a bad forehand from JoJo. It's going to come in on the right side. Feldberg throws an excellent up shot. So it used to play where you didn't get any relief off the Chicken Shack wall, and just not a big fan of that, even though it's not out of bounds outside the Chicken Shack. So in my tournaments the last couple years, I've done it where you actually get a meter off the wall.
Keith's really happy about that.
It's kind of dangerous. I saw Shoestrick a few years back, because he didn't get any relief, he jump putted and there was like chicken wire on the ground that got caught on his shirt, and it was just crazy. It was really close to being dangerous. So.
Is there a reason it's not out of bounds?
Outside the Chicken Shack?
Yeah.
No, not really.
I'm sure Ryan had a fun time getting up and down from outside the Chicken Shack.
Oh, definitely. I feel like when this course was brand new and the Chicken Shack was like a brand new novelty to play with, lots of people were throwing those rollers.
It's a lot of fun. One of my favorite holes to empty my bag on.
Oh, absolutely. You know you're not going to have to go looking for them. They're all right there. I'm going to nail it down with the soft envy. That birdie's going to go in from about 22 feet, I'd say. Skinner has about 15 to 16 feet to convert for par, and he does so. So after that slow start, all of a sudden I've picked up birdies on 10, 11, and 12. Pretty happy about that. Hole 13 is definitely a bonus birdie that we're moving into. Another one of my favorite holes in the course. 405, downhill, and super tight. Guess what? It's the Wrath once again.
That looks perfect.
Yeah, it leaked just a little.
Oh, it gets through the trees.
No, you're right. That was just perfect.
That was sick, dude. Very nice.
Man, I really thought if it went clean through there, it had a chance to go in. But I also knew that if it didn't go in, it was going to be down that hillside. So, that was a good branch.
Only the fish aces this hole.
The fish aced this hole with a mid-range.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm not the fish. I think he aced it with a fish. Fish with a fish?
Is a mako a fish?
Yeah, it's probably not technically a fish. JoJo with a pounding forehand there. He doesn't look like he likes it too much, but should be a pretty easy par unless he wants to get aggressive. You got to be really careful on your second shot on this hole if you're short of the pin on your tee shot, because it is a very fast green. And if you do catch a roll, it's not just a fast green. There's some woods down at the bottom, and you are likely to catch a roll and possibly even go into the woods and have no putt coming back. Feldberg's throwing a gem here.
That is triple X?
It could be the triple X.
It looks like the silver triple X.
It's either the triple X or the Spark.
Nice, Dave.
So there used to be a pin right there, but this new pin is way better. I mean, it's not new. It's been here for 10 years.
Well, there's
or
still
something.
a pin right there. You just don't use it.
It's just not used, yeah. But that's why. I mean, because you just hork a hyzer or flex shot, and it just, like, naturally finishes that way. It's much harder to park the pin it's in now.
The pins are about 20 feet apart, 25 feet apart.
Maybe 30. Not the best use. Wow, that's a really nice shot from Nathan. If you're like early on the fairway like Nathan was here, this hole can really get away from you. Easy to grab a bogey, and it's actually easy to get a 5 too, because if you throw that up shot a little short and then you want to go for the putt, you end up 3-putting.
This is a tough putt.
Yeah, this could be sketchy. If he misses, it's trouble, but if he makes, it's glory. Yeah. Glory!
Wow.
Wow, buried up in there.
That's a great putt.
Yes. The replay from the other angle in slow-mo. The envy. Doing work.
It's over the basket for almost the entire flight.
Yeah. Drops at the very last second. Great putt from JoJo. JoJo's leading the slow-mo replays so far on the card. Not sure if Feldberg has too much of a line, or it looks like he's not too obstructed, actually.
Wow.
Oh! Took the stepper. He thought it was in.
Dave's going to watch that one a few times.
Yeah. 2 of the last 3 holes, he's had a really hard uphill long putt, and he's missed high on both of them.
That one missed by about a centimeter.
Oh, I know. Sometimes you'll see those hit and go in anyway. Do you think maybe, though, it has something to do with that putt on hole 7, just being a little low? He's just been and it was an uphill putt. Now he's been just a little high on the others. Regardless, he's playing pretty good. He's just not scoring. All right, hole 14, downhill. Says 255, plays way shorter. Going with the envy in the soft neutron plastic. And that is way short.
It's a dangerous spot to be. 40 feet with a death putt.
It's more like 50.
Okay,
at least.
even worse.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't know what happened there. You have to really you have to try and not throw this hole too hard. And so I did just a slow-mo type shot, and I usually still throw it too hard. But right out of my hand, I knew it was a good line, and it was going like halfway.
I lobbied Jody for a long tee pad.
Yeah, there's a spot for it.
It would be fun, although it'd be very tough.
I think when this tee pad needs to be replaced, that would be the primo time to do it. To go ahead and just put it in further back. Yeah, I'd like to extend hole 8's basket and hole 14's tee. I think those would be 2 really good changes to make Lula a very pro course.
That looks like a good line.
Ooh, too
shorter than I
early, too
thought.
early.
Didn't sound like it rolled. God, I'm sucking.
We got a whole bunch of shorties in the group right now.
I like to throw the mid-range here, but very slow.
Really? I'd throw my mini if they'd let me. Another early hyzer dog, but kind of rolls out of the shoal. That'll be a scary putt too, but it's probably inside the circle. You cannot see the ground from the tee pad, so once you see it kind of finish where it's going to finish, you have no idea if it's rolling or not. Dave, running this or laying up? Laying up, right?
Gotta lay up.
That's a bad layup.
Ooh, it stopped.
It stopped. He got a little lucky. When you're
He was
laying-
running it, though. He wasn't laying up. I think he was running it.
I'm so confused. That's why I asked your opinion. Because in person, I had no idea. I told him I was jamming this putt after he did that half layup.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. When it's rolling, man, it's rolling. After getting 10 through 13.
I don't lay up many putts, but I would have laid that up.
Yeah.
You could take a
Yeah.
6 going for that putt.
Absolutely. You know, if I'm not playing good, I don't run that putt. That's probably a lie. I probably run that every time. Maybe not last round, you know, and I'm leading by 1 or 2, but it's still early in the game.
You got a chance to get a stroke on Dave, you take it.
Oh, that is a fact. So we got Skinner up in the left side here. Putting for birdie. Nice putt from Skinner. Much needed birdie. Hole 14, man, it's a hole that you want to get the birdie on, but you could throw a good shot and, you know, not even have a putt for birdie. I'm actually not a huge fan of holes like that. But if you throw the good clean shot that lands near the green, I'd say you get a birdie, you know, 75% of the time at least.
I usually just roll the dice with a thumber.
Yeah?
Land it on its back and see what happens.
Yeah, you know, I could see myself pitching a little righty tomahawk on this hole, especially if once again, if this course was out of town, you know, and I just played it randomly one time, I'd poke the tomahawk, because it is kind of a scary gap.
Chad Yates talked me into that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, this is hole C. It is a par 3. It says 320. I say that's fairly accurate, maybe a tad bit shorter.
I was going to say about 300.
Yeah. But with that Wrath again, comes out just a little bit early. I think that's going to be a good tree, though.
Those trees are thick.
Those trees are thick. It's going to give me a putt. Maybe obstructed, but definitely a putt.
I had someone caught in those trees every round.
Really?
Yep. Most of them converted for birdie.
Yeah. Well, I'll never play the 2-meter rule, so. Oh, Skinner's straightened this one out. Yeah, that's going to be a $50 CTP. Nice shot, Nathan Skinner.
Is that a wasp?
I want to say that was a fairway driver.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think he said it was the Undertaker, maybe? Don't quote me on that. Whoa, juice one. Is that a mid-range?
Or a putter.
I think it's a mid.
I got your new marker for you.
Feldy does not like it.
He's in a bit of disbelief there.
It's so hot outside, too, on this day.
I told him he should have thrown the backhand roller.
It looks beautiful outside, and obviously you're probably sitting inside in air conditioning watching this. But if you want to realize how hot it is, just look at Dave Feldberg's face when he's out there. It is a sweaty, sweaty mess out there for everybody.
That looks like a good line. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. This is definitely a good forehand hole. It was actually positioned a little bit differently on Friday morning. And then I saw a couple forehanders just park it over and over, so I moved it slightly to put that last tree more in the way of the forehand.
I like the change. I like the hole.
Yeah, I think this is the best hole we've had for this little temporary hole into Jody's field here. So Dave is slightly obstructed. He's at the straddle and he's on a knee. Trying to decide which putter to use. The black putter, is that a Cenas again?
I think so.
I could see it with the extra stability. Help you with the nose up putt. It's a good line, just going to be a little bit short.
He's the dot leader right now.
He is definitely leading the dot department. So I'm slightly obstructed, trying to decide if I want to go with a straddle or a knee putt. Looks like the straddle is the selection. Able to snag that birdie to continue the streak. 6 holes in a row. JoJo's going to tap in for the bird.
After missing the easiest hole on the course.
Yeah, right? Hole 8, I know. Miss 8 and 9, and then you get all those hard 2s in a row. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And very nice CTP there from Nathan. So after that temporary hole, this will move us to the tee pad for the alternate hole 15. Or will it? To be continued in the next video. Thanks to MVP Disc Sports for being the presenting sponsor of this event. And big shout out to Fox Hills for coming and filming. Thanks to Jim Lupino, North Georgia Canopy Tours, myself, and also my guest commentator, Bryan Gort. Thanks for being with us, Bryan.
Enjoyed it.
Please subscribe to Fox Hill Disc Golf Productions for the rest of this round, and to Matt Dollar Disc Golf for the rest of this event. Thanks again for watching.